Duvet is pronounced duvet in any language, regardless of if it's French. In English, it's called a duvet too, and it's written with a T.
Well, but is it a French word though that they're pronouncing French?
Yeah, but they're pronouncing it. It's always been pronounced duvet. No one ever calls it a dovet.
Yeah, but is it called?
You know what a duvet is.
Yeah, but is it pronounced duvet because it's a French word?
Yes, most words in English come from French, so that makes sense.
Like I recently learned that in America there's a town called Versailles, and people just call it Versailles.
You say a sachet, you don't say a sachet. Like I
might, but okay, yeah. So Faith, it's an album.
We have some of it, not all of it.
Yeah, you gotta put an E before the I to say Faith. Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay.
This is the third, but actually second album by The Cure. And it's the grayest one. I can say that. Boy, is this album gray. You try and find any fucking color in this thing. Good luck.
Try to find all the cats on the album cover. You
very
can't.
True. Yeah, there's not too many cats.
No.
Because
they're all in caves.
Okay. Well, I will very quickly say, I still have not heard a song better than Killing an Arab. But I think this was the best album so far.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I disagree. 17 seconds is clearly better than this. This album is rough in a lot of aspects of its construction, and I think a lot of that is it's a tour album written on the road, and it has a lot of parts that don't really hang. I still like it, of course, but it is my least favorite of the trilogy. Well, I guess I should give a bit of backstory to this album.
You should.
After 17 seconds and the mild hit that was a forest, The Cure go touring in Australia and New Zealand. Yippee. They're doing this partly because in England, the music press is really toxic, and this is the post-punk days, and everything's about being chic and cool and indie and authentic. And The Cure are still kind of being derided as this lame band. And 17 seconds is exactly the fuel that critics need to be like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Like, what's this pretentious, blurry album? All these fucking meandering songs. So they're like, we don't want to be in England when this is happening, so we're going to go tour. They have, a couple albums under their belt by now. They have a lot of fun out there. And also because they go on tour, we start having drugs. Yeah. Until now, for the first two albums, alcohol has been a pretty strong presence, and Robert's always been a big drinker. But yeah, a lot of faith is coming from Quaaludes.
Quaaludes, you say?
Yes, specifically Quaaludes. Were like what the band was into, and what happens when they come back to England. Ian Curtis has killed himself, Joy Division's singer, and the posthumous album Closer is released. And if you ever heard Closer, and then you hear Faith, you go, oh, because they're both these monolithic gray things. You just see these fucking visions of old fucking statues, marble statues, and empty churchyards and cemeteries.
Is that the album where like 24 hours and stuff like that is on?
Okay. Yes, it has specifically, most importantly of all, decades. The eternal decades, which Robert Smith himself has said at the time. He's on record as saying he knew he was never going to be able to write a song as good as The Eternal or Decades. And yeah, I mean the the thing with Closer is that it's a terrifying album because it's written by someone who knows that they're like at the end in a way, and it just makes it this fucking ghostly apparition of a.
Yeah, like if you listen to the songs, they're fucking depressing. Yeah,
they are in a way that is almost like unachievable unless you're in the state of mind that Ian Curtis was. So yeah, it's what a lot to deal with when you're 21, like Robert Smith was. And but in some ways, he also has always felt some empathy with that. And this album is all about. I mean, this album is literally gothic. Like it's all about gothic arches and fucking gothic literature, gothic churches, everything. Any literal meaning you could take from that word. Yeah, this is the gothiest of the goth albums. Right from the cover, you look at it, it's a fucking blurry ass ink wash church. The fucking holy hour ends with a church bell.
Yeah, the bell is in there. Like
Gorman Guest in here is it's just like the most like you could make fun of it for being too obvious. This album really like it's. If you were trying to make the gothiest goth album, this is what you do. Like you throw in all the goth influences and you make it look goth and sound goth, and it's 100% concentrated. The issue I have with it, I just think a lot of the songs that really shines through, and a few of them they kind of lost the thread, they lost the plot. But that's enough context for this.
Yeah, lost the plot in context to what? To the other songs on the album? To previous songs on other albums, or?
No, to the ones which clearly, which represent this new idea that are clearly kind of going for here, but
okay,
like you can tell when this album is doing what it's setting out to do, in my mind. And it gets interrupted a lot of the time. But let's jump into it, I suppose.
Yay.
And what better way to open than with the Holy Hour, which is one of the stronger tracks. Like I said when we were listening to this is, I mean, this is all like silly headcanon stuff, but it is funny that this kind of sounds like a transition from 17 Seconds, because it's kind of similar to like M and maybe A Play for Today in a way.
Yes, yeah.
More bassy. I mean, this album is all fucking, it's the bassiest of the albums. Too. But like that's what takes center stage here, is just the do 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 all the time during this album. But what do you guys think of the Holy Hour?
I've said this before. Pretty much every time Michi and me have talked about The Cure. Is it Michi and me or Michi and I? I can never remember grammar.
I think it would be Michi and I, but it's proper, fine. But no one cares.
Say me.
The Holy Hour is one of my favorite Cure songs, maybe even my favorite after having listened to, well, the ones on the albums we've listened to. I'm not 100% sure it's my favorite anymore, but it's still like extremely high up, and it's still my favorite song on the album. I love the bass in it. I love the guitar in it. I do like the church bell. That's it's not just at the end. It's like also at the beginning and throughout the song. Usually, I don't like many of the effects that The Cure have in their albums, but the church bell works really well. The beginning instrumental might be like a little bit too long. Vocals are a bit quiet, but still able to be understood. The lyrics are vague, but they have like some standout individual lines. Like
have leveled up for this album for sure.
Like for instance, All Around the Children's Play the Games They Tired of Yesterday is something that is stuck in my head since the first time I ever heard this song, and I think it just randomly often
well,
it comes up in my head a lot.
If anything, at least the lyrics are getting longer. If you look at like the lyrics for each song on 17 Seconds, they were like just like a little paragraph, and they were very like.
I actually
they were
think
kind
that
of stuck in this like headspace, and they were all very vague, like impressionistic little phrases.
I think that 17 Seconds actually had more coherence in its lyrics than Boys Don't Cry had more coherence in its lyrics than 17 Seconds most of the time.
Like saying meat hook.
Well, not that one, but yeah, not all of the songs, but most of them, like, or at least that they were less vague than, like, let's say Fire in Cairo or Killing an Arab. They had like way more. They made way more sense to me than some of the lyrics on 17 Seconds. Over easy
I
to follow.
view lyrics, if thinking they're good or not, is that they would make good like poetry on their own, which I don't think is true for most of the stuff on Three Imaginary Boys. Like,
I mean, that is true, but it depends.
Like telling a story is like dumb and like prog rock territory.
Sure, but I like that.
Having like these cool phrases and evocative lines that get stuck in your head and harken back to stuff. That's the goal of it, more so than just like spelling it
the best is if it manages to do both, like both tell a story and have the lyrics be poetic and individually standing out. That's like the best you can get. But as I said, I think the song is mostly carried by the bass and the guitar, and yeah, I really like it. It's as I said, one of my absolute favorite Cure songs.
Okay, great.
I think it was a solid representative song of the album. Did not have anything too specific to say about it.
Yeah, I've never been crazy about this song. I've always found it surprising that Jaws.
Maybe it's because this is the song that got me into the Cure, but even then, I still like. I mean, I have like a lot to compare to, and even before I have listened to like some of the albums before, and it still always is like a standout track for me.
It's quite a deep cut in a way. I mean, obviously, it's literally not a deep cut because it's the first song on the album. But
yeah,
like if you're asking a Cure fan to assemble a playlist, the Holy Hour isn't something that they would really throw in there. But solid opener. I put it. It's like one of the songs I like, but it's always in the middle for me. And then it jumps into Primary, which is where I start to have problems.
I can
with
tell.
this album. Yeah, because I think it dissipates a lot of the tone that the first track sets.
I agree with that definitely. Like,
wait, hold on.
Yep.
I might have just accidentally cut the stream short.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, well, hold on.
It says it's live from my POV. It says it's live from my POV.
Oh yeah, I think I just heard you.
It says it's live from my POV.
I've heard it 3 times now. Well, okay.
So no fuck up other than the fuck
Have
up.
we been streaming the whole time?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay, apparently you can
continue.
Apparently you can accidentally click off of the stream.
Right.
I have lost the thread.
By the way, the image for the Faith thing is the 17 seconds cover. Don't know if you noticed. By the way, the image for
what?
The thumbnail for the stream is the wrong.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, I changed it. Okay, I'll change it later.
Looks the same to me, but yeah, okay.
I think we're fine.
Okay, if we're fine, I was gonna say.
Jaws,
this is what I mean.
Hate to be a dick. Can you pop out and make sure the stream is good?
Pop out.
Like, go listen to the stream and see if you can hear me and Green talking. and
I
then
mean,
come back.
it seems fine.
Okay, fuck
Yeah,
it, I
okay,
don't
yeah,
care.
it
Okay.
works. It works. I checked.
Okay. Okay, this is what I mean by like written on tour album, like primary is
okay,
this is primary example. Ha ha ha. No, actually it's doubt, but primary is this is like this is just like running through the motions for me. It's like it's like a sound they've kind of done before, but the most notable thing is like this kind of phaser effect that the guitar and bass have, where it's kind of reverberating in this weird way. But this is like to a beat for what this album is, and it's like something that you debut at a concert and you kind of have as like a bridging song, and in a ways it's like a kind of it was like the closest thing they had to like a single on the album, so it was released as a single, but it didn't do much. Yeah, I've always thought this song is very like slight and uninteresting, really.
I mean,
It has some
over
interesting lyrics, but
over the previous streams that we did, it's crystallizing the differences between what Michi likes and what I like about, well, not just The Cure, but in music in general, I guess. Because I like the song quite a bit. Like I like all the more punk sounding Cure songs. And this is one of them. I agree, it does not follow up the first song in terms of theme for the album, but I still happen to like the energetic songs usually more than the other ones. And yeah, and I like the double bass here. I think it has no guitar in it; it's just two bass.
yeah, double bass. Double. I mean, that's a lot of the songs on this.
Yeah, and what I also noticed, this is like a thing on the album, the drumming is a little bit more innovative here than it is on 17 Seconds on most of the tracks. And this is like the first song where you notice that it's like a little bit more interesting.
What I will say is Primary is a song that works a lot better live later. Like when they have Andy Anderson or Boris Williams play the song live, then it really snaps into place. But this album version of Primary has always been very like muted and yeah, just nothing special to me in a weird way.
I mean, it's a song that sounds like it's from Three Imaginary Boys.
Yeah, like it's closer to those, like Fire in Cairo and the better ones off there.
It's like
what was the other one called?
It's Not You.
It's Not You. Yeah, thank you. I like that. Which is like, I mean, maybe. I mean, when you say you like the punkier songs, like, have you heard much punk music?
Yes. Yeah.
You've heard Nevermind the Bollocks and The Clash and stuff like that, because I much prefer to hear those than this.
I'm not saying that it is the same style or even the same range, but in terms of stuff The Cure has made, but also in general, I like it. I like the punkier stuff. Okay, what does Green say about Primary?
I liked Primary. I think it was one of the songs I liked more. It did annoy me where the opening felt like a fake out again. I wrote, "Are they fucking with me again?" Kind of sound like a saw a little bit, and then it changes.
Yeah,
I like
that's what I mean.
I like that this one was a little more upbeat and fast. I put this as the first song that makes me want to. It makes me accidentally drive a little too fast when I'm listening to it on the road, which is cool.
I can
it's got that galloping rhythm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it tonally dissonant from the ones before and after it? Perhaps. I wasn't really thinking about that.
The thing is, like, that move of opening with like a quieter one and then kind of shifting it into gear.
It's not the smartest placement on the album.
Yeah, like 17 Seconds does that too. Like it opens with a reflection and then you get the Play for Today kicking in, and that works better for me. I wish it had gone from Holy Hour into Other Voices, which I like more than Primary. Other Voices kind of reminds me of Secrets from
Yeah.
album, but they got a bass. And it's in more in line with what I think the album should and is trying to be.
I liked Other Voices.
Kind of also has that Middle Eastern like deserty kind of jangle to it in a way that's more.
Yeah, it's like the Oasis level on a Mario game.
Yeah, but it's more. It's less overt. Like Fire and Cairo and Killing an Hour doing like an obvious like.
Yeah, like I didn't
Gangly?
notice
The way it's like kind of more subdued and muted in this, I like more because it harkens more to like I don't know, like finding an old abandoned temple in the middle of the desert and be like, ooh, than being in the middle of a market and there's a snake charmer like those other ones.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with Other Voices. Not as good as Holy Hour.
I think the song is okay. I do like the short intro section. It has once again a unique drumming pattern. I do like the bass line. Vocals are mostly fine, but the echo on it, it's like one step too much. Like the final ringing out of the echo is like too much. If it were one less, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
The thing is, I think I kind of like them trying like stuff like that and failing more than just jamming like on Primary, because
I do
get that in plenty of places, and that's not like. I mean, the whole thing with the trilogy is they're kind of trying to figure out like what this band is to begin with, and this ain't it, Chief. Like Primary isn't what the Cure will be, and not what they're supposed to be. This is something that they can kind of do whenever they want, but it's not what I come to them for.
Yeah. I also don't really like the rhythm he's singing in at times in that song. It's like a little bit weird, a bit off at point.
Yeah, the singing is. He is starting to get a signature wail type thing, but it's not quite matured yet. In a way,
I don't think it's not his voice, but the rhythm basically. I've like he had like
pentameter, yeah.
Yeah, there are like multiple songs throughout the albums where I have the exact same problem with it.
I hear. Yeah.
What else did I wrote down? Yeah. Is there a guitar in this song? Like, if it is, it's like very buried underneath.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Like, I wrote a question mark.
No,
guitar,
it's very
so
like.
Sure. Yeah.
This song is a bit. It's kind of like a blurred, like a smear. Like it's kind of hallucinatory the way it passes by in the album. You kind of don't have. It's hard to like clamp on a certain bit of it and stick to that. So, but that's kind of why I like it. Yeah. Well, now we're gonna
favorite song.
Now we're gonna fight each other.
No, I'm going to say something.
Okay, great. What are you gonna say?
I actually noticed things with Other Voices.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I had opinions, and it also made me think more about the album in general.
Wow.
One reason I like
it's really working.
Well, one thing I like about this album that you may or may not agree with, I think this album has a better like average intensity level for the songs.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the previous songs they either felt so like subtle and repetitive that they're like
everyone calls 17 seconds minimalist like that's the word.
Yeah, but it felt like something that is just kind of like incomplete. Like it would be perfectly fine if there were like some pretty colors or a screensaver I could look at. But just as audio, there wasn't enough like information or intensity to hold my attention. And then some of them are like more in your face to where they're kind of distracting. I felt like Other Voices has like a nice average intensity level that's good for listening to it. And also, I felt like there was more of a sense of progress in this song than a lot of the ones before it. Like as it starts, it feels like, oh, they're going somewhere with this, and then we actually get there. Like it feels like there's kind of an arc to the song as opposed to it. I don't know. It just if there was like a roundness and a progression that felt satisfying. Michi sitting there
I'm
like I hate
happy.
this guy.
I hear that. No, I like other voices. I'm happier you got that from it. I think it's a good song. I'm happy it's on the album.
Yes, it's a
I'm
song
just
with
trying
a
to
nice
think what I'm gonna say
shape.
about Orchestra.
Yeah, well, my first note is a question. It's morally? Question mark?
Well, this is the first of
morally
two
brave.
Gorman Gas ones, but that's not really a big deal in this case. Why don't you tell me what you think of Orchestra Grey first, Jaws?
Okay. Once again, unique drumming pattern. That's good. Initially, like I've listened to the song like 6 times or so just to figure out stuff about it, and it just keeps not. It does not get stuck in my head. Like if I try to remember it, I hardly can, which is not a good sign. I did not even notice at first that there is a bass in the song. I thought it was like part of the drums or some other instrument. There's no guitar, I think. The synth or keyboard part, I'm not sure what instrument it is fine. And this sounds more like a soundtrack to a movie than a Cure song or a song for an album. I also think that there are not many lyrics or vocals there, and when they are there, they are pretty hard to hear once again. Effect on the vocals is fine. I don't really care much about the lyrics. I would also say that the song is too long for what it is, and I do like the keyboard outro. But I mean, I wouldn't say that the song is bad, but I just don't really care about it.
I will
excommunicate you.
Yeah.
Now tell me.
This is so hard to describe to someone. Like, I can't imagine listening to something so soothing and lush and gorgeous and not like it feels like your soul is like intermingling with all these other spirits, and you're like you're just like drifting away, floating away silently. Like it's
I hardly noticed the song. Like when I did right, I went over
just close your eyes. Like close your eyes and put this on with headphones, and you feel like you're drifting. It is so like spectral in such a
it's
beautiful
hardly there.
way.
That's
why it's so beautiful. It's like it's because it's like that idea of like a light fluttering the same way like a butterfly is beautiful. It's just like this fragile like wisp of a thing that like envelops you and makes you forget everything. And
if I can't remember a song, then
that doesn't mean shit. Songs being catchy doesn't mean they're good, and you being able to remember something doesn't mean it's good or bad.
No, but usually I remember songs that I like.
I can remember it just fine.
You can. I can't. I have trouble.
The singing also is great. Like,
God damn
it's
it.
subdued and muted, but it's like is great. What?
I made a joke, but then I thought you guys were barreling over me rudely, but my headphones were off.
Oh,
I was gonna say the way that those vocals are like lowered down is exactly perfect because
I know that's intentional.
They fuse and mix with this whole like this blurry like this is what I like when I do like ink washes and backgrounds. The way
this is good
water
background
and
music.
the ink smear together with each other.
Which I've said about the Cure before. That the Cure for me is way better as the use as background music than listening to it intensely, which is what I like to do with albums.
The Cure is for so many people like a soundtrack for their life, and that is what this is great for. Like if you're walking through like a wintry forest or or like an old like a castle or obviously a church, like a cemetery or something, and you put All Cats Are Grey on, you do that, it's like you feel everything coming together. It's like you can feel the soul of the place. It's so, I think it's such a transcendental song, and it's like the core, it's the heart of the album. It's like this beautiful white shining soul in the middle of this like gloomy, dreary, gray, dead thing.
What I did yesterday, I went over Green's recent chapter and making notes, and I had the album on the background, and while I was working, I was wondering, when All Cats Are Grey, when is that going to play? And then I noticed, oh shit, the song already played. I have absolutely no memory of it.
Shots fired. Well,
I will say,
maybe that's how good my writing
finish,
was.
I'm not going to harp on it anymore, but I also think
we've said this stuff.
The piano outro is great. I agree, because it
good.
kind of brings you back down to earth in that way, and it reminds you, it's like the church organ is being played and you're being recalled to the earthly realm.
You're woken up.
Green, what do you? Yeah, what do you think of All Cats Are Grey?
I put that I like that it's chill, but it has some momentum to it, where it's it's not super hard or intense or mean, but it has like a nice rhythm to it and progresses. I feel like it hits a good balance between those elements, where you can sit in a chair and be comfortable. You don't have to like run around your room in circles and punch things. But it's got a sense of progress. It's very fun.
That comes with doubt, the running around and punching things.
Yeah.
My vast oceanic soul is just too strong. For songs like this one.
A lot of that going around.
I mean, would
I thought I might have been outlined,
like the song? That's what we should be asking.
No, because he'd start crying and kill himself.
Wait, what's even the problem with what I said? Like,
nothing.
Well, it's fine, but it's like it doesn't like get into you. You haven't really opened your heart to it in any meaningful way. It's just it's like you gave it just like a neutral pass. Like, yeah, you basically said what Jaws said, but Jaws views that as more of a problem than you do.
Yeah, for me it's something negative. For Michi it's something positive, and for Green
it's like a neutral thing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like for instance, what
okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying I just wondered maybe if Green might have felt touched by the song in any way, but no.
Like what you said about All Cats Are Grey, for me, in the Funeral Party, that's much better. Like what you say about
is a much more obvious version of it, though. That's the thing. Like I appreciate quieter subtlety than kind of like putting, like, I think that's true of my regard for almost everything that I like. Like, I like stuff that does things in a kind of an effortless way that doesn't have to be like so spelt out in a way. Like Funeral Party is beautiful, and I love it as a song too. But it is so like fucking it's so melodramatic and lachrymose that you can't help but feel that. It's not something that you tap into personally. It's something that is telegraphed to you, where it's like, yeah, this is the like running, like bleary. You just see like these shimmering lights of a song in a funeral procession. It's like the ending of the Night on Bald Mountain, the Disney thing, where they're all going off into the church and there's Ave Maria is playing. It's like that. It's like, yeah, of course this is beautiful and gorgeous, but that's obvious to anyone in a way that All Cats Are Grey sneaks in there in a way I find more satisfying.
Like All Cats Are Grey, I think up to this point is like the least Cure sounding song, like, compared to all the rest, I think.
I mean, I won't argue with that because it's
no, I'm just noticing.
It's not a sound. It's not a sound that they. No, I know. I'm just saying in that regard, I think I agree with you because it is very singular. I can't really name another song.
Yeah, like there's nothing that's like it so far. Okay. If we move on to the Funeral Party, I send you the Twin Peaks opening because this sounds almost like I probably it's inspired by the Funeral Party. Like unless it's like a big coincidence that it sounds so similar.
I mean, this is like
Yeah.
a church choir. This song.
Yeah. There's no guitar again, which I don't like. I don't like if you remove instruments. Yeah, the bass is pretty understated. Yeah, I mean, for me, with the Cure songs, if I were to rank the best parts about it in order, it would be probably guitar, bass, and then vocals.
I mean, I don't mind when some of the songs don't have guitar. I will say I'm happy you like the guitar because that is something that is undeniably one of the best things about the Cure is that they have always been a guitar band and they have some of the best guitar riffs and playing in music. So I'm happy that you like the guitar because there's going to be more and more memorable guitar. And they kind of keep guitar music alive through the 80s in a way that a lot of stuff like Depeche Mode or the Human League don't.
Yeah. I do like the rhythm he sings in here. It's almost unique, I think. Like this, I don't know what one would call it. It's
like this lulling, like this, like I said, funeral choir, like this dirge of a. It's like the scene in Lord of the Rings where they're burying the guy's son and the daughter is singing.
I mean, okay, but that's like in the movie that sounds like very this.
What I mean, it's like putting someone to rest. In that way,
I think they are better examples than that scene. But I know what you mean.
I do love the synthesizer though because it's like this. 80s synthesizers have this like such a different quality than digital ones later, where it's like this kind of like glassy, twinkling, kind of crystalline thing to it from being an analog sound, which really like sometimes puts my hairs on end in a way that I enjoy.
I've written down that the effects are mostly fine, maybe like a tiny bit too overblown, and I like the lyrics to the song as well. They are fine as well. This is an okay song. It's not a favorite song, but it's definitely okay.
I like this one quite a lot. It's near the top for
me.
It's
relatively near the top. No, it isn't even. It's it's not even quite in the middle. It's like number 6 for me. Green, what's your opinion on the funeral party?
Nothing too strong. This is gonna sound weird. This was another one of those where I was convinced that there was another artist or song that sounds like.
The Twin Peaks.
Okay, that too. I think I wrote down David Bowie ? I feel like there's a David Bowie song that kind of sounds like this, but I might be crazy.
There might
scratching my head as to which one that would be. Like closest thing I can think is like Moss Garden, but that's an instrumental.
I don't know.
David Bowie's been an influence throughout the whole time the Cure have existed, of course, but never. It's so far in their discography. I don't think it's ever been very direct.
This is the song that sounds most kind of like a poppy like 80s song to me.
Yeah, no, I see that.
I wouldn't call it. It doesn't sound like a pop song.
It's not poppy, but it's like it sounds like an 80s like a song you might hear on the radio. Yeah, like
if you're watching a movie.
His podcast said he thought nowadays this is probably the one that would appeal to like a new listener. Someone younger who is like coming to the Cure and like from a TikTok or something, the funeral party, you might catch their ear in a way that a lot of songs on this album wouldn't probably.
I feel like if you were watching a movie in the 80s, this is something that could be just like playing like while they're hanging out next to their cars or like at a dance or something.
Yeah. It definitely has that like prom feel to it. Like
exactly.
For sure. You can definitely see these two figures like kind of twirling in an empty thing. Yeah, and then all my goodwill goes out the window because it goes into doubt.
Never doubt.
And I punch the speaker.
Maybe that's the point.
Yes. That's what the lyrics are saying.
They really got me by subverting expectations there. Yeah. This isn't just another throwaway jangle thing that they stuffed in the middle here. I will forever curse the heavens that All Cats Are Grey doesn't go at funeral party doesn't go into Drowning Man and then end with Faith. That would be such a perfect arc, but no, we have to have this fucking.
Well, you need to have
loudmouth wannabe buzzcocks song. This song is beneath this album. This song should have been on
For
Three Imaginary
you.
Boys. For
I mean, it
everyone.
should
No
have.
one likes
It
Doubt.
should
No
have
one.
been.
They never play it live. It's never been on any fucking compilation. This
I like it. Yeah, but I
blows.
agree. It should have been on Three Imaginary Boys because that's the same style.
Probably wasn't. They were making this album
Yeah,
on
why
tour,
not?
and they're like, "Oh, we only have 6 songs. What's some old one we never released? So yeah, put Doubt in here. I mean, it has some fun lyrics. Like I also
Yes,
want to
the
rip.
lyrics are pretty
I
cool.
want to rip and tear and kill people. Sure, but that if they had held this over for pornography and worked up the instrumentals into something truly vicious, I would be way more behind it.
Okay, so it's like not going far enough for you.
It's not
in
going.
terms
It's
of the
exactly
stuff.
in either way. Like it's not. It doesn't fit on this album, and it's not fierce enough for pornography.
I mean, yeah, it's not super strong in terms of its intensity, but I still like it, given that I just liked this sort of punky stuff. I noticed the drumming here is exactly like it was on 17 Seconds, which means it's boring.
Yes.
I do like the lyrics, and I do like how Robert sings them. Like especially the first one when he sings "Into Your Blood." Like that's really cool the way he sings that. Yeah, definitely like more of a punk song. Yeah, it's not the best song, but I kind of like it.
This is my
Yeah, and bass and guitar are just
the album.
okay.
But Green probably really likes it. He's gonna say
don't
this
know.
song woke me up and made me punch the roof of my van.
Actually,
Or something.
it's funny you say
Yeah.
that. My note is that my only real note for this is one, I put why is it called that question mark, and the other was
you doubt why it's called Doubt.
and then the other was this game made me blunder a chess piece, or this song did.
The song made me.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I lost a chess game because of this song.
That's weird.
See, it is bad.
Yeah, it is. It's horrible. I should listen to Queen while I play chess.
Just don't cut it.
Yep.
And I don't like, and also it makes Drowning Man worse for coming after Doubt. Drowning Man is a song I really like on its own, but its placement, I really think it should have come earlier. Yeah.
I mean, I still like that Drowning Man is before Faith.
That's true. It does. That's true. Good point. I don't know. This is what I mean when I say I have issues with this album. I can't just play this from one end to the other the way I can with Faith. Sorry, with 17 Seconds or Pornography. That's why it's the weakest of the trilogy.
I've like way less problems with the songs on this album. I mean, I will talk about this again once we're done with all the songs and we talk about the album in general.
Yeah. Well, if we want to talk about the Drowning Man,
yeah,
which is plagiarizing Gorman Cast pretty harshly, but that's okay.
Inspired.
Yeah, well, All Cats Are Grey is inspired. This one is like just lifting.
Yeah.
Like I know his copy of Gorman Gast has like pencil underlining so many lines of like the Fuchsia chapters and stuff like that. But you know, I mean, this one is very interesting because it is the gloomiest song on here probably. And I like how it kind of, I like it as a trifecta with Funeral Party and All Cats Are Great because they all fill in different kind of niches of haunting in a way. Like you have the very somber, quiet, almost angelic All Cats Are Great. Then you have the like very melodramatic, tear streaming Funeral Party, and then you have this like dark, depressing. I mean, literally, like it's a person, it's like you're drowning in this, in the kind of angst and anguish of this song. Like, this is what it feels like after someone has died.
I mean, it is about
I enjoy
someone
it.
committing suicide, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good song to kill yourself to if you want to try. When I did it, it worked well.
What? How are you still here?
That's
I
actually
came
a
back
good
when
stream.
when Faith came on. I woke up again.
We should do like a tier list or a stream, like best songs to kill yourself to.
That
would be a
hard.
funny idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed on and once again a unique drumming pattern, which was always good. Guitar and bass are fine, but not outstanding. The lyrics are the most cohesive because they are taken from a book, I guess. The effects are okay, vocals are fine, and yeah, the song is not bad. I just don't really care that much about it.
If I take Secrets, Other Voices, and The Drowning Man as the as the kind of like echoey, drifting Doppler effect kind of songs, then this is the best one of that genre to me.
I think I like Secrets probably more.
Okay, that's fine. Green, are you drowning, man?
Always.
Little bit, yeah. I will say this did make me think of Silent Hill 2.
Yeah,
A little bit.
appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of like the most like horror story of the ones on this album, probably.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think Faith is darker than.
Well, lyrically, yeah. Faith is like more resolute, though. It's like it's just going to. Faith is just gonna kill you. Faith is like marching toward you
with a knife.
It's just like the unstoppable way that time is gonna kill you. Like
he's like
it's just
Pyramid
coming.
Head.
Yeah. But then Pornography, the entire album is trying to strangle you.
This whole album is just Silent Hill.
I mean,
or this whole band.
Why not?
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Yeah. Are we going
at this point?
You know what?
At this point, yes.
You know what we should do between albums? We should mix in one of us playing the Silent Hill 2 remake.
we could.
Yeah, that's a great plan.
But then I forget everything. My mind just goes numb when Faith starts. I become a zombie. I start when walking around with the song playing. It's just like
that's like
it's so hard to describe. No, but it's like everything becomes like it's like the whole world kind of goes out of focus for you, and you just start like questioning your whole life up to that point when the song goes on, but you can't stop marching in, like you're walking in rhythm to this song, and you're just like on a walk into your own grave. I love this song. This is the best thing on the album.
It's definitely one of the better songs on it. Yeah, one of the top songs.
Like at so many Cure songs up to this point of what we reviewed have this obsession of his with this nonstop, this plodding, like they don't give in. They keep going. This repetitive thumping to them, and this is the best version of that. Like it's just gonna put you on rails, like in a good way, where it's just like
I think like 17. I think like in 17 seconds is probably a better version of.
I think 17 seconds is more fluid than that, though. Like it's so short. Faith is like it's the longest song in their discography.
Yeah, and I noticed how intro section
that's what I mean.
Long. It's like 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
I don't think so at all. I think that's what is so great about it. Like it's such a build up, but yeah, I love this thing to death. I listen to just the song on its own all the time.
It's definitely a good song.
The lyrics,
the lyrics are great, or at least very good. I also like the way he sings.
The dissolution of it is so perfect. Like this is why this album exists for, and it also like parlays into Pornography so well, because this is
Yeah, this is the death. in pornography.
just like giving up completely. Like the way 17 seconds was just kind of like just like falling on the ground and being like done physically. This is like emotionally just you're drained, you're done, like you have nothing to live for anymore. And yeah, the fucking primal scream that is pornography is what comes out of this. Yeah,
the bass line is pretty cool. I'm not sure if the other one is a guitar or a second bass, but yeah, bass.
I think it's double bass. This, I mean, this album and previous one, Robert Smith plays. I haven't mentioned this in any podcast, but he plays the Fender Bass 6, which is a 6-stringed bass, which makes it's a hybrid guitar bass. So when he plays on the high notes, you get stuff like The Forest and Friday I'm in Love. It's more jangly, but it also has enough attack and low notes to be able to carry something like Faith, which makes it very versatile. I mean, that's like the like skeleton key of the Cure's sound is this instrument.
Yeah. Drumming is once again sort of boring though.
But I think it works. Like, as a marching band, this is military rhythm. This is supposed to keep you in this groove and not.
Yeah, it's like super repetitive. Yeah, but cool song. I think I have it on number 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're similar songs, but I think my reaction is kind of like the earlier songs. Like, I don't have anything interesting to say about it. Just seems, representative of the album and, pretty good.
Really? Okay. I thought you had more stuff to say about Faith.
I
mean, this song
really.
is...
Maybe I should listen to it again. And then
Rape Me Like a Child, Christened in Blood. I think there's a lot to say about this.
Ooh, yeah, we were all 13 once.
So when I say that about like Doubt and Primary, then you're like, no, these are cool because they're jumpy. Like this is...
I said
this is a lot more. So. Okay. He's got nothing left but faith.
Yes. But there are 2 more songs, or rather 1.5 songs.
Oh, well, yeah. Fuck. I really need to... Hold on, I'll be right back. And then we'll do the single.
Go.
Oh no, he's gone.
For a short time. We have 3 viewers. I'm wondering if that's us or if there's someone else in there.
I mean, one of them may be me.
One of them is definitely me. So the question is if the third person is me.
I don't know. We'll see. I won't fixate on it. Like, people have checked in and out.
Raise your hand.
But I
don't. It's 4.
I don't think we're.
We've summoned someone.
I don't think we're doing this for the big views.
No, obviously not. But it's just funny.
It's been. I mean, I did have the biggest tweet that any of us have ever had the other day.
Yeah, that was indeed silly, as you later put it.
Where I just stole a reaction image from Lit with a chud in it, and I got 30,000 likes.
Yep. Oh, and now the viewer has left again, which is very funny.
Yeah, it's the magic touch.
Yeah, but I've said this. This is like it's such a good encapsulation of the social media and internet culture, basically.
What happened to me?
Yeah, like the posting is this one thing that you don't even have made yourself, and it blows up, and then you can you wrote what, by now almost close to 20,000 words or something, and way less people have seen this stuff where all the work goes in.
Yeah, that's how life. That's how life goes. It's just
at least how it goes on the internet. Yeah.
There's and also I think anything creative, it's just like the vast majority of effort goes completely unrewarded, and then you just suddenly get lucky for reasons you'll never understand.
Yeah.
If you do.
Yep.
That's how life is.
Speaking of your creativity going unrewarded, this album wasn't received very well.
Damn.
That sucks. It's a good album.
I mean, it is. It's a good album, despite how negative I've been. I still would give this like, I don't know, like a 7.5. But I mean, again, it's not hard to predict that this album would not be adored, since it's basically like a church service. But
the 17 seconds, was that more successful?
No, but it did have a big hit, A Forest.
Okay, but not
Nothing
the
on this album gets a
okay.
big hit. Yeah. Speaking of, also, when this album is out, their manager's like, "Hey, this is great and stuff. I get you're doing your own thing, but I need a fucking single, and Primary ain't doing shit. So get in there and give me a pop song." And he gave them one of the best Cure songs ever. I love Charlotte Sometimes.
Yes, I do too. That's
I like
the second best song on here.
I go between Faith and Charlotte Sometimes for me here. I mean, I'm just a sucker for this fucking song.
Yeah, this one just slaps.
Yeah, it goes so great. It's perfect mix of like being, it's poppy and catchy, but it's also so forlorn and fucking bleeding. And I love I'm also, whenever there's like songs with like layered vocals in the way this kind of like devolves into, like, that always just plays with my fucking ears in such a perfect way.
Who has the idea to use your own voice for the backing? Like,
it works great. Like dumb thing to bring up, but it's like one of the first things I got into when I got like a teenager into Coheed and Cambria. Was like a few of the songs on there, like the crowing and stuff, that also do this like this interplay, this mingling of voices like that.
It works really.
It's like the song was made for me.
Yeah, it's also made for me. This one is great. The
lyrics are great. Like they're also they're taken from a book, but like in a much more. It's like he's writing about the story. It's not just pilfering it. And and it's a beautiful thing to take from like just a children's book, is like this unexpected thing for someone. I mean, in a way, it's a poke at the manager, but it's like I love stuff like that is serious and mature, but isn't afraid to take something from when he was a kid and reinterpret it and make it into something so beautiful. Fuck.
I mean, I've not read the book, but having read the synopsis, it feels pretty deep, or at least serious for a children's book. It seems more like a
no
Coraline or something. Yeah. My mom read Coraline to me as a kid, and that's how I feel probably Robert Smith felt about this in a way, some things. Green, you heard this song, I presume, if you click the right playlist.
Wait, what song?
Charlotte Sometimes.
Actually, no, I didn't.
No.
Okay, well, why did you fail me like this?
I don't know.
Did you stop short of the playlist?
No, maybe he had the same problem that I had.
No, you had
weird.
Primary.
For me, Primary and Other Voices were the ones that were missing.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe you should go and listen to it before the next podcast.
I will.
Okay. I mean, we did hear it while we were together once, but
I mean,
you probably, if you had heard it, you would have said it's better than Killing an Arab. You probably wouldn't, because you like when he talks about shooting an Arab in the face. But
I mean, I do.
But anyway, the B-side to Charlotte Sometimes is a very strange track, which I like more than most people.
Yeah, apparently.
I like Splintered in Her Head quite a bit.
Which
and I like it for very strange reasons.
Well, should we cover this next time then? Or
no?
Okay.
No, we listened to this for this. Me and Jaws did. Splintered in Her Head is the closest indication of what he's going to do on pornography.
Yeah, I mean that's
and it's kind of the most experimental thing they've done to this point. Very cool.
It's like jungle drumming and
weird screeching disembodied little. I like this song. I like it as an ender
I mean,
opener.
it's
Yeah.
definitely unique, but one of the things is it's sort of too long, so it becomes repetitive. Like if it was shorter, it would be better because you wouldn't get so bored eventually of this. Yeah, the
It's-
vocals and vocal effects and lyrics are bad on it. It would be better as just a straight instrumental, I think.
It's
And
not
it's like,
one I listen to all the time, but
yeah, no, that's also the one I think I've only listened to this 2 times, and then I thought, no, okay, I don't need to listen to this again. Yeah, it's too
partly I
long.
like this song because I'm pretty sure this might have inspired Trent Reznor to do Pretty Hate Machine. I mean, like there's sounds on here. I mean, Head Like a Hole, Splintered in Her Head. I feel some kinship.
Yeah, I've no idea about
I
that.
find it an interesting oddity, and it's very foreboding.
Yeah, it's a sign of what's to come on the next
It
album.
is, and I like
though is I
which
mean,
is why
I like,
I thought it was interesting to put in this clutch for people to listen to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. In terms of of ratings for the album, or just talking about the album in general, I like this album both more than Three Imaginary Boys and more than 17 Seconds. I would give this one an 8 with Splinter in a Head on it, and it's like an 8.2 if it were not on it.
you're rating like the clutch of songs, not the album itself, because Charlotte's
No, the album itself, like the whole album. Yeah.
Well, the whole album is only 8 songs. Yeah.
Yeah, but if the singles were well, if Charlotte Sometimes were on it, but Splintered in Her Head was not, it would be like an 8.2. And
Splintered
if
in Her Head
Charlotte,
is not on the album.
yes, but if it
Oh.
were on the album, well, if it were on the album but were not on the album, you know what I mean? Okay. I know.
What?
Okay,
You can't have
like,
it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat
what I
it
mean,
too.
I treat like since we listen to the singles as well, I incorporate them into the judgment of the album, even though they are not
Head
on
is the
the
B
album.
side. It is part of the single. The single is Charlotte Sometimes You Flip It Over and it's Splinter
Yes.
in Her Head. Yeah.
Yes, I get that. You said it, but I treat it as if it were on the album.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
So this whole period of recordings, yeah.
Yeah, all of the songs that we listen to in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I gave Three Imaginary Boys like a 6 point something. Then I said 17 Seconds like an 8, and this to me is like a 7.5. So it's a step. It's a bit down from it.
I think it may be like indicative. Is that the correct word? Anyway, for me, I've like with 17 Seconds, there are like way more songs on it which are just straight up bad in my opinion, or that drag the album down too much. But with Faith, everything on Faith is listenable, with the exception, well, I mean, Splintered in Her Head is not on the album, so which basically means everything on the album is fine to listen to. It's not a chore, or it's not unpleasant to do so, and that automatically like raises it up for me in comparison to like 17 seconds.
Because Final Sound is so short. The only thing I don't like on 17 Seconds is 3. That's only one track.
For me, it's like 3. What was the other one? The Final Sound, and that's another one that is unpleasant to listen to, and I don't necessarily like Reflection as well.
Really?
Yeah, like I wouldn't listen to any of those.
Okay. I go back 17 Seconds way more than Faith. And another reason is because 17 Seconds, there's nothing really like it. Whereas Faith has another problem, which is disintegration happened. And it was just Faith, but better.
We will get to it, and then we can compare.
So I could just listen to Disintegration. Great. What do you say about the overall thingy?
Oh, am I allowed to speak again?
I never said you didn't. Well, it's not my fault you didn't listen to the songs I prepared for you.
I'm sorry. I clicked on the album. I forgot that you did that. Well, actually, I clicked on your list, and then it said, not in your country. And then I was like,
Instead of messaging me, you just went.
and so I clicked,
Yeah.
yes, I clicked on the album, and I was like,
Right.
I forgot that I should probably follow up on that, but
Okay,
it's
but
fine.
if it's okay for now, if you do that in the following podcast, which are gonna have a lot more non-album singles and B-sides, you're dead to me. So let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
But the album was good.
What
I
score
think it
would you
was
give it?
Well,
I
man,
mean,
true man of words.
7.5.
That's what I gave it.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you
I
gave 17
liked
seconds
it.
like a 7.5 too.
I
Yeah.
liked it better than well, I don't know. I liked it better than the albums before. Uh, my favorite songs so far were not on this album, but on average, I feel like it was most of the songs were pretty middling, but the middle had moved up a little bit.
I hear you.
I mean, yeah. What was your favorite song on this album?
Yeah, good question.
It's probably either Primary or Other Voices. Like I think I like those
Okay.
ones.
That's fine.
Hmm.
As long as you don't say doubt. Now, this
Only I would say though.
but I'm super stoked for the next album. Yeah.
Which
Uh,
we have heard once in a non-drunken stupor in a listen.
we did listen to Pornography once, but
Yeah.
pardon, it's a very different album to listen to on your own.
Yeah.
It makes me burp just thinking about it. The yeah, for Pornography, I don't think there's any like ancillary stuff
Ancillary, what?
outside of it. Ancillary meaning additional. The like in its orbit, I mean, there's like a B-side to Hanging Garden, but I think it's a very like, is it Descent? It's like no, that's the B-side to Primary. I didn't even include that one because it's such a uninteresting like little nothing nugget. I have been omitting tracks, believe it or not. Like I've not been peppering this with literally everything that they've released so far. I didn't put the fucking like demos from when they were doing stuff that didn't even end up on Three Imaginary Boys like World War. But yeah, for Pornography, it's pretty much just itself, and then we move on to a smattering of EPs and stuff like that. Not EPs, but like we have Japanese Whispers has all these, then album singles. The Top has a lot of weird stuff around it.
What comes after Pornography?
17 seconds. I think the compilation. The Japanese Whispers. The compilation comes out first, I think, because all those singles. There's a bunch of singles called the Dream singles, which is what.
Okay, I was meant like as a full new non-compilation or live album.
The Top is next.
Okay.
Which
so that's where your nemesis resides.
The Top. Well, I mean, it's more like everyone's like. Of the Cure albums people care about, everyone says the worst. I mean, Jaws will probably love it, but
I have no idea. I've never listened to it. I have absolutely no idea.
It's like the Cure album I listen to the least, except for maybe Wild Mood Swings or something. It's okay. But it's like a solo album. Like after Pornography, the band break up. Art Smith and Lowell Tolhurst do a bunch of like these like parodic singles, the Dream singles, which end up on Japanese Whispers, and then it's kind of him on his own, maybe a little bit of help from Lowell Tolhurst doing the Top, and then the band kind of reforms itself into its big success period, going from 4 albums, which are all very commercially successful. Which is the run I'm excited for.
Do you know how what the average placement of like 17 seconds and Faith were at the time?
What do you mean, like on the charts?
Yes, yeah, on the album charts.
I know. Well, Forest cracked the top 40, I don't think it got to the top 10 on the charts. If 17 seconds charted, it was low. I don't think Faith the album charted. I know
That's-
Primary was. I know Primary did okay in the UK, like not as high as the Forest. The Forest chart sometimes was kind of also did fine, but nothing special. Yeah, the not very well received. The Pornography ends up being the funny one because it's like the most uncommercial thing, yet it becomes their most successful album.
Yes.
The album itself goes to number 8 on the Billboard.
Oh, yeah,
chart.
that's
And-
that's
Yeah.
success.
That's the album, yeah. And the Hanging Garden, the single, cracks the top 40 somehow, despite just being.
Okay, Primary made it to number 14.
Yeah, but that's UK charts.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I was thinking about UK rather than like worldwide or anything.
Yeah, well, if it's not top 10, it's all top 40. Who cares? That's like the metrics. It's like the 100, the 40, and the 10 is what matters. Because that's how it gets advertised. Yeah,
That's weird.
it is. But yeah, we will do more next time. We'll have another after Pornography cast. We'll do another listening party for the fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And someone will remember to bring all the singles to the listening party.
All the single ladies, yeah.
I always remember. I have been nothing but helpful.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, earlier,
Yeah.
because we missed this joke because my mic was off, and this is important.
Right.
Earlier when Jaws was saying that he doesn't remember the songs, and you were making fun of him saying a song is not good based on how much it sticks in your head, I was gonna say Jaws' favorite song is the Meow Mix jingle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My first song is it's like Scatman's World or I'm Blue.
Yeah.
Dabba dee dabba doo.
Oh man, that's like one of the earliest songs I do remember. Like I used to love that song when I was a child.
All 65. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I have a girlfriend and she is so blue.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it, guys. We're really
We did it.
We're really doing
Hell
it.
yes.
Cut the stream before we say something.
Yeah, before we say something
irresponsible.
dumb.
I mean, there's
Disintegration is the best album ever.
I mean, there's a non-zero chance the stream has been cut for hours, so who knows?
It's still
here we go.
considered
Yeah.
to
We
be
need to
like-
have faith. Green, you
Yep.
have nothing left but faith.
Doubt.